Rule number 1, never drive into a dust storm.
I am about to leave on my first cross-country road trip. It's going to be 3,000 miles from here to the West Coast. I plan to do the 3,000 miles in 7 days. I just bought this bike a couple months ago, and I've already done about 3,000 U-turns on it. And 2 months ago, I tried picking it up and I could not do it. But I wanted to give it another shot. So last night, this happened. And just this morning, I wanted to see how I could do with the bags on. I thought it would be easier, but it was actually a little harder. The bags were in the way of me being able to get a good grip, but it was still doable. 3,000 miles in 7 days may not be a lot for some of you, but for me, this is the biggest trip I've ever done. On the way back, I'm going to take it slow and stop at scenic routes and really cool and interesting places. But on the way there, I'm on a time crunch because I have a training with Jocelyn Snow. So that training I did on her GS 1250 last year, I want to do it on my bike. And we have a special guest joining us, so I cannot be late. But first, I wanted my first cross-country trip to be a coast-to-coast one. So this is technically day 2. Made it to Tybee Island. It's actually illegal to ride a motorized vehicle that isn't certified on the beach here. So I can't do that, but I can touch the water myself. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run.
Are you going into the ocean?
I made my East Coast start a trial weekend a week before I left, as a way to test out all my new accessories and spend time with my other 2 favorite things, Cody and marine animals. Okay, East Coast shell. I've got my lucky shell that I got in Tybee Island, and it is coming with me to the other side of America. And I am not stopping until my boots touch the West Coast water. Okay, so I guess I was lying about not stopping. Obviously for gas and food and bathroom and blah, 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 you know what I mean. So I originally planned this route so that I could dodge the harsh winter. I thought I had accounted for everything. The vast stretches of desolation across the center of US, where gas stations could be hundreds of miles apart. The extreme cold front that the West Coast hadn't seen in decades. But what I didn't know was that by changing my route, I had put myself directly in the hub of motorcyclist no man's land.
In the collision of air masses from both the desert southwest as well as the cool air coming from the north, the trigger point for storms to form within a favorable environment is set.
I was originally going to do this cross-country trip a month earlier, but we had to delay it because of the floods in SoCal, just like destroyed Jocelyn's challenge course. Now I am pretty warm. 83 degrees with these pants is too warm. I don't know, maybe I'll change my route on the fly. It took so long to set it up though. Made it stop number 1, 400 miles. I left at 11 o'clock. This is my longest road trip yet, about 3 to 4 weeks. My mom and sisters are freaking out so badly that I was seriously considering whether or not I should even do this trip. They are freaking out about me either being attacked at a gas station or stranded with no signal or getting stuck in dust storms. These are all extreme cases, but possible. My mom wanted to follow me in her car. That is so embarrassing. But then you know what? I thought, you know what? A follow car would not be bad. Maybe next cross-country trip. I'm going to order some food, start emailing some brands, and see if hopefully I can get this cross-country trip sponsored because this is very expensive. If you see a sponsored by note at the start or end of this video, that means I was successful. Good night. Yeah, I wish she were red though. I hate that blue. And then, welcome to Texas. Intersections are actually one of the most dangerous places for a motorcyclist to be. Today, there are some things that I find that I need now that I'm about a third of the way into the trip. So I'm gonna stop at the nearest cycle gear I can find. Looks like there's one right off my route, and get some things there. All right, I got highway pegs. So now I've got 3 places to put my feet. That's gonna feel so good. And I got a tire plug kit, just in case. Neck gaiter. I have a freeze out balaclava, but there's a lot of room, so I was still getting a cold face. And portable tire pump, which right after this, I actually ended up needing. Out of all the things I expected to see on the road across America, this was not one of them. Holy beautiful! You look like a hippogriff or a dinosaur. Eventually, as often happens when you plan on the road, things were not going according to plan. Stopped in this gas station just to thaw. Oh, it's cold out there. I'm going a little bit further north than like Google Maps would do if you were just going to California. But that's because I was trying to stay away from the border towns just for better safety ratings. I don't know what the hell is going on with the weather, because when I looked at Amarillo, Texas, that's where I'm going, the weather space today was supposed to be a high of 71. So I don't know why in between where I was and Amarillo, it is currently 43 degrees at 2 in the afternoon. I put on my rain suit just for some extra warmth, because even my heated gear wasn't cutting it in the humid cold of North Texas. Rain suit trick helped a lot. Yesterday was definitely not an easy travel day. I am hurting today.
I haven't seen this before. Red flag warning, high wind alert.
The winds were so strong it was kind of funny at first. The wind went from amusing to annoying. I didn't know it, but this was the last rider I'd see for the next 2 days.
Mexico made it. I'm holding on to my butt because I am not confident that it won't.
The winds continued to pick up, so strong that I was worried if I only stood on one leg in order to get the kickstand up, my bike would fall over.
Holy crap! These winds are insane. My body, my neck is physically straining. Oh my gosh! Is it always like this?
How the heck did she drop this thing right now?
I don't know.
High wind warning, significant threat to life or property. Oh my god, southwest winds 40 to 45 with gusts up to 70 expected. And then, in the distance, there it was.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse.
As I was struggling to put on my rain suit as it kept blowing away from me, a Native American man came out of nowhere and asked me if I was riding in that storm. I told him I was about to go back in it. He said it was about to get worse and it wasn't worth my life, and I should stop now. I listened.
I bet you're feeling good for getting here.
Yeah, this was not my plan to stop here at all. So I'm staying at this hotel. I'm like, 3 hours away from Albuquerque, but that wind is just insane. I'm being blown all over. The bike is leaning even though I'm going straight. I just came in and there was a man with a truck, and he said that he was planning on also going to Albuquerque, but he stopped because his truck was going all over the place. He saw a semi literally 2 wheels off the road. This is what my family was worried about. This is what they were warning me about, and I thought they were being ridiculous. Impacts are damaging winds could blow down trees and power lines. Power outages are possible. Travel could be difficult. A small one, but a dust storm. There's dirt in my eyes. I keep feeling it in my teeth. Yeah, around 2 or 3 in the morning it stops, and then it picks up again around 11 in the morning. Hopefully if I leave early enough, I can get out of here before it starts again. I had gotten really lucky. It wasn't unheard of for dust storms to be so thick that you could be completely surrounded in darkness. unable to see even the lights of the car in front of you. So my visor wasn't closing with all the dust. I don't know that this is an approved way to wear this helmet without the sunshade visor part, but since I'm doing all highway miles again, I've got to make up for some miles, so the next couple days are gonna be rough. Cannot swing that visor right now. It is very cold outside right now. So I'm not going straight to my destination in California. I am going to go south. So I'm gonna go through Phoenix to get away from the cold, because right now in California, there are blizzard storms for the first time in decades. I'm like, is it the end of the world this month, or what is going on? I'm really looking forward to the scenic ride home where I just stop a lot and showcase a whole bunch of cool locations. No, I did not perm my hair. I'm just not gonna straighten my hair because it's a cross-country trip. We are ready to go. Seeing the aftermath of the night before storm was like a warning. The problems weren't over yet. What I didn't know when looking up the weather between my start point and the next stop was that on the West Coast, there are mountains, big ones, and riding over them could mean passing through 30 degrees colder in a matter of minutes. My heated gear and rain suit were not cutting it anymore, and at the top of the mountain, the battery in my gloves died. I'm at a gas station. And the man gave me these. The sign of decreasing temperatures and elevation were marked by sandy hills and the first motorcyclist I had seen for hundreds of miles. But the relief didn't last long. I should have mentioned, whenever I drop my bike, you should not drive off like I did. I guess I was just so embarrassed and flustered, I just wanted to get out of there. But you should always check and make sure everything on your bike is okay. Luckily, everything on the bike was pretty much okay, except the hand guard broke off, so I have it on this side but not on this side. I'm sure I could just tape it on, really, if it's just for the wind deflection, because at least I still have the protection. This held pretty sturdy. And my highway peg is just dangling now. Here's what it looks like on this side. So 500 pounds of pressure just shifted it over. I'm not even sure if I have the right tools to move this over. I'm sure Jocelyn will. But I noticed something else, and this part is very concerning. This is the side where it did not drop. This is the side where it dropped. So same issue that I had with the Triumph stock guards. It just buckled in so much with just one drop on the pavement. Now I'm not sure if the bike's frame will survive another drop. I don't know what to do. In Jocelyn's class, this bike could drop like half a dozen times. And I don't know if I can take another drop on this side. And another thing, I just got a text from Revzilla. They were getting tires ready for me because I was gonna switch out the tires just for the ADV class to some knobby tires instead of these street tires. And right now we're having an issue where the place we were going to take it to, because at Cycle Gear you can get tires switched out, but they have to be off of the bike, and I don't really have the capability to do that. So right now it is Tuesday. Training with Jocelyn starts on Thursday, so I gotta find somewhere last minute that we can either overnight the tires or have the tires in stock, and that they're willing to squeeze me in last minute. I didn't know if my tires would arrive in time or if my crash guards could survive another drop. which meant I wouldn't be able to do Jocelyn's class, which was the original reason I rode across the USA on my bike. All I could do was keep on trekking and hope I got lucky. Oh yeah, and I used up my buffer day. There was no more room for delays now. It is 5:30 in the morning. I am pretty unsure how this is gonna go down. I was having the hardest time pumping this gas. It just wasn't coming out, and apparently in California they have this for emissions. Since I'm on a bike, you gotta pull this back in order to get the gas out. It's almost 2 o'clock. I've done about almost 400 miles, so not bad shape for timing. But I decided I needed a break. Not a gas station break, a real break. So I'm eating a chicken pesto crepe. I am in California, on the other side of the country. I can literally see the ocean from across the street. The bike situation, training at Jocelyn's, that I don't know what's gonna happen. Tires are delayed. Crash guards are shot. Jocelyn's saying maybe we should reschedule. I just crossed the country. Whew, I'm tired. That is the Pacific Ocean. Coast to coast. We made it, Lucky Shell. This is your West Coast brethren. You did okay. With just a couple hours before the shop closed, my tires arrived just in time and Monterey Power Sports were able to squeeze me in last minute. I didn't know if my crash guards could handle another drop. I decided to put that aside and celebrate that I made it across the USA and... okay, it took me 8 days, but I really tried for 7. I celebrated by paying $200 for an underwhelming whale watching tour, and I decided I didn't cross the USA to not train on Jocelyn's obstacle course. I am coming to you from the future. I am currently 5 weeks into my cross-country trip. Yeah, I thought this trip would take about 3 to 4 weeks. We've had some setbacks. But I thought that now that I've put about 7,000 miles on this bike with all this gear, it would be a good time to give you a tour of all the accessories and how it's holding up. My Lone Rider bags. I've got the 2 in the back. I've got 5 total. These 2 in the back, the 2 smaller ones attached to it, the larger tail bag, and also the smaller tank bag. Well, these bags have been through dust storms, rainstorms, 7,000 miles, most of which were highway. Still holding up strong. The only thing is just make sure that you check the bolts on your quick release system because you do have just 1 point of attachment unless you want to go be a little extra and attach some straps. Right here you do have places that you can attach straps on the bag, but there was one point where I didn't check the bolts and it got loose and fell off. But other than that, it's kind of amazing how there were a couple times where I forgot to lock those, and I even forgot to lock this down, and the bag still stayed on. These crash guards have been tried and tested many times on this trip, and they are holding up great. These hand protections from SW Motec as well. The plastic part broke on a fall, but the bar itself has, I mean, everything's protected here after literally a lot of drops. This is my bike. I can take all the risks I want now. Oh yeah, I added highway pegs just because my knees kind of hurt on the long highway rides with these controls. They're not quite mid, they're slightly back, like I have a slight bend in my knee. Those have really helped my knees. And this is a butt saver. Got my brake-free helmet light for added visibility, especially when conditions aren't ideal. But it lights up when you're stopping or slowing down. It's wire-free. Accelerometer is the technology. A couple of 20-something engineers, they were on Shark Tank. I use my Cardo for listening to directions and music. Hippo hands, these were Jocelyn's actually, but she gave them to me. I don't have space to store them when it's hot, so I just leave it on. And they're okay. It kind of feels like they get in the way when it's really cold. Needed that. I got my new helmet, the XD4 that Itchy Boots has. I took the visor off because I'm doing a lot of highway today, and I might be running into some crosswinds. For my kind of riding, just because I do so much highway riding, the Corsair I think was actually better than this. The visor on long highway rides will kind of give me a headache. I got a new mount for this helmet. I think I have a discount code for you for this one too. If I do, I'll link it down below. I know I have one for my brake free. I got a dash cam. It's in the front and in the back. So you can connect the app to your phone and you can see the files that way. As for my gear, it's been great. A lot of vents, a lot of layers. So I've used it from temperatures ranging from like 35 for short times, but mostly I would say averaging around 50 to 78. And then sunglasses, these are not ordinary sunglasses. These are specially made for people that wear helmets. Originally they were made for pilots, I think. Oh, I'm gonna put them back on. But I really wanted to show you this. So if you don't have an Arai helmet or some helmet that has slots for sunglasses in it, this will still fit really comfortably in it. But most importantly, they're shatterproof. So you really need that if you are on a motorcycle, because if you get an accident and you have some Maui Jims or some Ray-Bans, they can shatter, and that is shattered glass near your eye. You don't want that. So I have a discount code for these sunglasses. I'll make sure to link those below. And I think this is the last thing I got to show you is my quad lock. Usually I keep my phone in my pocket, but this is especially helpful to also look at my maps. When I was riding around in areas where the GPS wasn't keeping up, or it was really vague and it would say turn right, and I'm like, on what road? So sometimes I'd put it on here so I can have that extra help. Don't do what I did. For the longest time, I had a cheap Amazon phone mount and it ruined my camera lens. The vibration can ruin it, and then you have to get a whole new phone just because of that. So Quad Lock has a dampener to prevent that from happening. So in every video in this cross-country series, I'm gonna be linking to all these things down below. And if I have any discount codes for you, I will put it next to the link as well. Shout out to these brands. Thank you so much for my sponsors. If it wasn't for you, this trip wouldn't have been possible. I'd literally have to go back to my office job. Adventure riding is the pinnacle of riding into the unknown. And no one pushes themselves further past these limits than BMW GS Trophy competitors.
Come down into the water crossing! Jocelyn, it's through!
With a new adventure bike and a new hunger for the roads less traveled, I wanted to be prepared for any adventure. So I rode across America to find one of these insane riders and learn from her in her own arena.
I'm the boss of it. It's not the boss of me.
I am at the Jocelyn Snow Ranch, here to do the class again 1 year later on my bike. This time I will be joined by another YouTuber, Amanda Zitto. Thank you so much to Jocelyn and the sponsors for helping me make this video possible.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Snow. I'm an adventure rider. I am a certified BMW International off-road instructor. I've competed in the BMW GS Trophy, but I've been riding motorcycles for well over 35 years anyway.
My bike today just got these off-road tires installed for this class specifically yesterday, and I'm hopeful and a little worried because my crash guards buckled after a drop this week. I'm a little worried that this bike cannot survive another drop. But you know what? I figured I came all the way over here to do this class. I'd rather take the class, and if I have to trailer my bike home a mangled mess, then so be it.
My name is Amanda Zitto. I've been riding motorcycles since 2012. I've crossed the USA 4 times now. Most of my experience is long distance motorcycle touring, a lot of camping. I think the thing that I'm most excited about is getting genuine feedback from Jocelyn Snow. I'm super stoked to be kicked in the butt by somebody shorter than me.
Whoa, First was balance. Learning how to not be so awkward with our bikes. These bikes were made with large tanks so they could handle long stretches of desolate roads with no gas stations, and tall enough so they could ride over the unpredictable obstacles you may find off-road, which leads to a tall, heavy bike that can be difficult to handle without practice.
I don't believe you need to have 2 feet on the ground. I believe you need to have 1 foot down. So whether it's your right foot or your left foot, it doesn't really matter how tall that seat is.
And finally, all those balance exercise we were working on, we'd apply it on the bike while riding. How do you feel about bike dropping?
I'm okay with that.
So in the process of learning how to manage these larger motorcycles, taller, bigger bikes, heavy bikes, I've dropped them a lot. Ladies, you're supposed to copy me. I didn't do that. If you're dropping your bike, you're learning. And I told you gotta weight the outside peg when turning right, so that's hard when my feet are all over here.
The last time I did the bowl, all those lines were not there. You could just go in wherever you ended up. But now it's like you go up the hill and then all of a sudden there's this tight turn right after the hill. I'm like, My biggest fear before coming to the class was probably that my bike was going to be a mangled mess and I'd have to trailer it back home across the country.
That's a legitimate fear.
It was a beautiful stop, and then you were like, now what? And you went like this.
I had a couple of concerns. I can't bring Doodle and Amanda out here and then hurt them or something, and then they are hurt at Jocelyn's Nose Ranch. They gotta ride their bikes home. They rode their bikes here. So I need to make sure, number 1, they don't get hurt. Number 2, their bikes don't get hurt.
Some of the obstacles on Jocelyn's challenge course, I swear she comes up with by thinking, what's something you might see in a cartoon or movie, but no one would ever be insane enough to try in real life? You're up on it, and then it doesn't go down for a second, so it looks like you're about to ride off of a cliff.
How are you feeling about the teeter-totter?
How about I'll let you know after.
Okay.
My heart is still racing. That was a brain, I'm trying to say it PG. Yeah. What, a brain, I don't know how to say it without swearing.
Twister brain.
A brain twister. I'm just gonna take a breather and then do it again. What was the scariest thing today that we did?
Yeah, definitely teeter-totter, even though I didn't end up doing it because I had an anxiety attack.
You didn't end up doing it?
No, I didn't.
You totally could have done it though. You did the bridge just fine.
I
every
did the
time.
bridge okay, but every time I thought about doing the teeter-totter, my brain shut down.
It's so mental.
Yeah.
But I fell on the bridge. You didn't fall on the bridge.
I knew that Doodle and Amanda were going to be capable and able to do everything I threw at them. I did, however, clearly see doubts in their minds. What we had to overcome, it was more so in their head.
You're doing tight circles, like a doubled up U-turn. One of the hardest things to do on a bike. And you're doing it with one hand. And you lose rope as you go, so it only gets tighter and harder.
Make Ryan circles! Yeah! Only looking at me! Here we go. More weight to the outside. See how in control I am? See how balanced I am? Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that! Light, she's not breathing. Not breathing. Wow, right? And so I ride my bike up and I get ready, and all of a sudden, boom, they put this black sweatshirt over my head, over my helmet, and tied it around my neck. And I couldn't see. I don't know, maybe it's a big windstorm, or I don't know, you get something in your eyes, or what happens. You gotta use all your other senses. So I'm gonna give you these special goggles. You seen these before, Doodle? You're going nice and straight. Up you go. Beautiful. Breathe.
This is something I really struggle with. When conditions are perfect, sometimes I can pick up this 501-pound beast. But sometimes I can't. If I learned anything from martial arts, it's that technique can beat strength, even with the smallest person against the largest. I thought maybe this idea applies to bikes too.
Start walking back. Now I'm a little short here. I don't have any more leg to give. So in order to get the bike the rest of the way up, I'm gonna let go with my right hand, and I'm gonna grab something lower. Here we go, ready? Boom. So have you picked this thing up before?
Yes,
Okay.
in my driveway and at the gas station.
That's it, breathe out. You got it. Here we go. Shh. Go, 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 push back.
It's not the same as the driveway.
Looking up at the sky. Go, 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 don't give up. Don't you dare give up.
I was close.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I can do this.
go, go, just go, just go, just go, push, push, yep, foot, 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 foot. One more, foot, foot, foot. Take a breathe, okay, now lock it in, you're holding the bike, grab low, push her over. Woo!
So much easier as a driveway.
As you practice more, you'll find what works best for you and your bike so that you can get the most leverage so that it becomes easier. Now that you've done that, how would you like to pick up my bike?
Did I mention that Jocelyn's bike is about 50 pounds heavier than mine?
Because I think last time you were here, you did it, but I might have helped you a
You helped me.
tiny bit. Like you got a little
I didn't know it until I saw it editing it. I was like, wait a second, that's her hand.
Time to redeem yourself. What do you say?
Okay, let me just catch my breath. But
All right, you catch your breath. I don't have any marks on these crash guards. They haven't been over yet.
This is not the one I dropped?
Well, after you came to the class, I put new crash guards on. And I don't think it's been on the ground
No
since.
wonder you didn't offer up your bike again.
Pick up my bike. Here we go. I believe in her. I just need her to believe in her. Believe in yourself. Go. Push back in the seat. Go, 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 go. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. And nope, nope.
there it goes.
Nope. Okay, down she goes. No problem. Here we go. Here we go. Back, 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 back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feet back. Just push back. straighten it. Yep, that's it. Use your feet. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Yeah! I'm gonna hold it. Let's get the kickstand down. It's on this side, actually.
Uh-oh.
There
Okay.
it is. That
Did you help me?
was doodle-rific. No, you can check the footage after. Do you feel like I helped you? We'll put it right back down and do it again.
No, it's okay. It is what it is for now. Maybe I'll gain 4 pounds of muscle next year. And then the car. Jocelyn said this was really just a hill, but it was metal with holes where windows once were. After a student took her bike over this car, they crashed it and totaled it. We would practice for the car by going over some of the other similar obstacles right before it. By the end of the training, Jocelyn surprised us with a real adventure ride, a spontaneous visit to a neighbor's 600 acres of farmland and trails. Some of the ride was incredibly gnarly, and since my bike isn't actually the off-road model in this series, I had just switched to off-road tires for this class. My tires kept spinning out on the hills, stalling the bike, and I'd lose Jocelyn and Amanda. But I figured, well, Jocelyn took us here, and she's not turning around, so I just kept going and didn't worry about it. Your mental state literally affects your body positioning.
I hadn't been there in quite some time to pre-ride it. It was kind of a spontaneous thing. And there was one point in my helmet leading these ladies behind me, I was going, oh, Jocelyn, what have you done? I don't know if we're gonna be able to get up. Got these ladies into this is really challenging. Every time I would look back in my mirror because I'm having a hard time like making sure I'm staying up on two wheels, I would look back and here those two headlights are following me. It was amazing.
Nice job! Woo! Dang, nice job! Yeah, thanks!
And you're like zipping through. Holy cow.
I have been doing it a little bit longer than
Ranch girl.
That was one point where I thought, ooh, this might be tricky, getting everybody out of here. And they surprised me, and I think they surprised themselves. So.
I loved our night ride. It was
night
a
trail
little
ride.
anxious once it actually got to night.
There were some gnarly spots.
We got you, we got you. Don't try it by yourself in the mud. What happened? You're so dirty! Oh, do a spin for me real quick. Spin around in the headlights. Oh, yeah!
Now I'm kind of matching Amanda.
I'm talking about,
It was so fun.
It was a good time. What was your favorite part of the weekend?
All of it.
Very proud of both of them. I hope they come back. I hope we have a episode 3 because I have unfinished business with these two.
How much your confidence affects you and affects how you do things. If you think you can't do something, you can't because you're not going to do your best job, whatever it is.
Perseverance. Like if you do something wrong, you do it again.
Don't ask me how, but somehow the crash guards survived. They seem to fix themselves. They're no longer uneven. They kind of evened out. And I'm recording this voiceover 8 weeks after this video, crossing back home to America and a lot more drops. Shout out to SW Motec for some tried and tested crash protection. In case you're wondering, you can train here too. All you have to do is email Jocelyn and she'll set it up with you. In the middle of the California desert is America's last town with no laws. Slab City has no electricity, no running water, and no law enforcement. As I made my way back home on my cross-country trip, I had to stop and see this town for myself and the strange and unique places surrounding it.
For this is the story of the miracle sea in the desert, the Salton Sea.
I am here at Salton Sea that looks and smells like a dirty ocean. But it's not an ocean, it's a lake. And that crunching you hear under my feet, it's not sand. It is fish bones. That is what the sand is made up of here in Salton Sea. This sea has been through seasons of plenty of rain and also years of drought. So this used to be a popular resort back in the 1950s. But after so much of the water had dried up, it got too salty to maintain the animals in it. So fish just started dying and washing up on shore, and there was just thousands, probably millions of fish all along the shore. So obviously the resort shut down, and this isn't exactly the kind of beach you want to take your shoes off and go for a walk. And we're about 40 minutes outside of Slab City. Amanda's waiting for me back up at the parking lot. I don't think she wanted to come today. National parks is more her thing versus beaches of dead fish and anarchy towns. But I was scared to go by myself, so she's coming along. She's a good friend. All right, let's head back up there. We made it to Salvation Mountain, just the start of Slab City. Amanda, how do you feel about coming to a town with no laws?
I'm sure they're normal people like everybody else. They just want to be left alone.
Okay. Tim.
Who's that?
How do you feel? How do you feel about coming to a town with no laws?
Man, I feel like an outlaw.
You
Probably
do?
should have brought my 6-shooter or something, you know?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. So I'm glad you guys are here, so at least I'm not alone.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty chill. You run into any crazy stuff yet?
No, but we just got here. So let's see. So this was built by Leonard Knight. I think it said it took him like 40 or 50 years, and it was like his way. He wanted to obviously show a message about God. Now it's kept up by volunteers and people donate paint buckets, but he built it all himself by hand with like adobe clay and layers of paint. So apparently when we walk, you can feel it like squishing under your feet because there's just so many layers of paint of him and people trying to keep it up and keep it looking as bright and pretty as it does. I feel like I should be whispering. I don't know. I'm still nervous, I guess. Apparently the roof has caved in over there, so we can't go in there. Oh wow, you can see like windows. Man, too bad we can't go in there. So a lot is closed for repairs, it looks like. We are officially entering Slab City. Okay, we made it to East Jesus. So this is where anyone can create art out of trash, and it is really cool looking. Like there, look at this. There's an abandoned airplane. What? Like there are all sorts of things. Like, oh my gosh. What do you think of East Jesus, Amanda?
I grew up rural Montana. We're rednecks. A bunch of trash piled together to look pretty ain't new.
It's new to me. This is cool. Now we're going to check out the Church of Enlightenment. I'm not sure what this is about, but I thought it was pretty cool to point out that there's a library here, there's a hostel down the road, there's a cafe, there's an internet cafe. Yeah, I kind of wish I was staying here longer. Carolyn?
Hi, Jelly. Sit down.
Thank you.
Sit down.
I'm recording, is that okay?
Yeah, you go
Okay.
ahead, Phil.
Are you the
I'm
doctor?
I'm Dr. Spencer, and this is Brad.
Hi, Brad.
I live here. I've been here 7 years. I'm a retired acupuncturist, a Chinese herbalist, and a sex therapist.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So why don't you show them around the garden first?
Okay.
And then show them the Hobbit House.
I sure will.
And
I'd
you
love
guys
to.
take pictures and do all of that.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Show them the solar oven and all that.
So here we
Wow.
are in the middle of the desert,
This is beautiful.
and he has a oasis
Oh, wow.
And he says he grows, you know, enough vegetables for several people. So this is just lovely. And he brings in the water, and he has a number of water systems. There's this fish ponds back here I'll show you.
Oh my gosh.
And he's got frogs, frogs, toads in there. But this is lovely. And so here's tomatoes.
Oh my God.
And these are, you know, lots of greens and spinach and lettuces, and here's some herbs.
What do you say here? This is about people come here and they say, can we climb that tower? Because it's a beautiful view and it's
There's a bed up there.
Yeah, they're making a nest up there.
Oh.
There was eggs in there, yeah. And there's binoculars up there. But I tell people, you have to pass a test. You have to walk the balancing beam to show me you're not stoned out of your mind. And can be trusted up there, and put $5 in the donation box so we can build it 2 stories higher. So anybody that wants to do that has to do that.
Just take a running start here.
I won't run because I don't
Leap
want
all the way down.
I don't want to risk my chance of climbing that tower.
Oh yeah. Pretty good. I think you can do it backwards.
Okay, so I passed the test. I'm not high, so I'm gonna climb Doctor's Tower. Chocolate Mountain, Salton Sea, Amanda and Tim. To the top of the Tower of Enlightenment. 48 steps, doctor. He told me to count. And now I just gotta go down. Oh boy. Oh boy. I counted 48 steps. Whew. That was fun.
Congratulations. Thank you. Do you feel any more enlightened?
I don't know. Am I enlightened?
You're on the path to enlightenment.
All right.
You know what happens when you get to enlightenment?
What?
Your consciousness expands to the whole universe. And you understand the uniqueness of this whole wonderful existence that we have. You just understand.
You think I'm there yet?
No.
So I came back. I had to cut the last visit so short because I was trying to get to Phoenix before dark, where I was gonna meet Cody and have a weekend break from the trip and hang out with him. But we're gonna try a motovlog through Slab City on my old GoPro, and I really wanted to come back and spend more time here. I mean, this place is just so peaceful here, and it's, I don't know, it's just, I think it's really cool. There's a library. Let's go check the library out. Disable traction control. All right, let's do it. Here's the library. Library property. Private. Ooh, that went deep. Let's go check it out. Welcome. This is so cool. Suspense. Oh wow. This is pretty big. There are a lot of books in here. Hello. How are you? Good, how are you? Awesome. Nice bike. Thank you. What brought you here?
Life.
Yeah. I think I'd like to get this one.
It's a kaolinite.
What's it called?
Kaolinite.
Kaolinite. Ooh, that's pretty. Slab City is a living piece of what a new and different world could look like. A town where people prioritize freedom above all else. Trapped under her bike. I'm so sorry. This is an abandoned ghost town. Or at least, it was abandoned. Until this man bought it for $1.4 million. Armed with the excitement of seeing our first ghost town, the ignorance of what lay ahead, and a riding buddy with mistaken trust in me, we are going to Cerro Gordo, abandoned ghost mining town. I confidently led the way, expecting the town to be right on the side of the road like so many abandoned towns I had seen on this cross-country trip. What I didn't know was that the town sat 8,000 feet at elevation. It wasn't a town just on the side of the road. You had to traverse miles of steep and narrow dirt roads, and anyone afraid of heights is warned not to come at all. My experience level with bikes like mine on roads like this was about 4 days worth. Amanda was much more experienced, so I was slowing her down. She went ahead and we knew we'd meet each other at the top. Or so we thought. As we climbed, temperatures plummeted. Snow got thicker. The road was getting more and more difficult. And to think people used to do this on foot with mules.
Winters at Cerro Gordo are complicated. On the best days, it's the most beautiful the town ever is.
And then I saw her.
But on the worst days, winters at Cerro Gordo can be hell on earth.
Amanda was trapped under her bike, and I was the only one around to get this 500+ pound bike off of her. I wasn't able to get the bike off of her, but I was able to move it just enough so that she could get her leg out from underneath. I did not know the road to Cerro Gordo would be as gnarly as it is. Amanda was handling this much better than I was. I'm glad to see you smiling and walking. I was really worried you're...
Oh, I'm fine. Look, I can do a dance.
Oh,
okay. Oh, that was nothing.
This was nothing?
That was nothing.
What?
I've been in much worse, believe me.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no.
And then, when I tried to get back on my bike, this happened. It's like I dug real deep into the sand there.
You get on, or you want to walk it up there?
I think I'll walk it.
Okay.
Oh! I just wanted a comfortable place to sit. I thought, there's no way this could get worse. But I was wrong.
As you may be able to tell, it is very cold up here right now. And you know, living in a ghost town is challenging on the best days, and in the winter it can just become extremely challenging.
Mud and ice got thicker and thicker. We were stuck. We couldn't go any further.
It's not exactly how you pictured it.
No. And yet, by the kindness that comes when someone is living their dream, the owner still agreed to give us a tour.
Welcome to Cerro Gordo.
Thank you.
This is an abandoned mining town. The town was established in the 1800s, 1865. The mining company that had at the time, they were paying a caretaker to be here just to look after the place. They went bankrupt, they couldn't pay him. They gave him the whole town as payment. I've been up here, living up here full time for about 3 years now. The property itself is about 350 acres and it's surrounded by all BLM land, so there's no real neighbors anywhere. I've only recently, well I guess 3 years ago now, gotten into dirt bike riding. And I saw you guys came out on bigger bikes than that. I am very jealous how good you guys were to get up here.
I just wanted a comfortable place to sit. Want to trade?
This is the original general store for the town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They would leave that both lead and silver for a couple reasons. Because one, the process of getting the silver out of the lead is pretty much the hardest part of that process. So they wanted to do that in San Francisco. And the second reason is that if those were pure silver bars, like every bandit in the West would just rob the stagecoaches leaving here all the time. Back used to be a butcher shop. Ooh. These days it's our war museum. We can check that out. So all this is like things that we found around the property. There's a large Chinese population here as when it was a mining town, so we found a variety of like old Chinese coins and tin boxes.
Oh wow.
At its peak, the town had like 4,000 residents. This is filled with treasures, or artifacts, I should say. Dynamite boxes that I found. This came from the 700-foot level down in the Union Mine. So if you're ever walking through the desert and you see like a tobacco tin nailed to a piece of wood, it might have like a really old piece of paper inside of it that shows like whose mine that was back in the day. So originally this was like a mechanic's garage. So the centerpiece was the entirety of it. And then slowly they added on the wings. And then the old owner made it into, or put in the stained glass in remembrance of his wife who passed away. And so we're making it into a little bit of a movie theater. They like kind of have like a film contest even, you know, if people come up and film something and
Yes.
here.
Mm-hmm.
But looks like we got some snow coming in.
I love the disco ball and the stained glass.
It seems that we have some snow issues to deal with too, to keep that under control.
Oh no!
Got a problem. It appears that the door is open to the assay office. Because a lot of snow is going to get in there. But you can see the drifts. So a lot of times right now we have self-guided tours. People sometimes leave the door open, but snow inside of buildings equals moisture inside buildings equals rot. So I'm going to have to get all this snow out of here. Because eventually I hope to host people overnight, you know, to have kind of this be a destination thing. Since we're building a hotel just over here.
With all the snow, we couldn't access many of the other buildings. Wow. What's your favorite building in Cerro Gordo?
Probably the museum. And then I like the hoist house, so the building that hosts the big mine shaft. I am taking that 150-year-old cage 900 feet down into an abandoned silver mine. And I think the whole mood in the cage turned from one of great excitement of what's below of, oh shit, I hope we can make it back up. Just because of the history there, it's really cool. The photo in the general store here of one of the old owners in the late 1800s or 1900s is taken at this exact point on the 900-foot level where this black and white sign is that shows different things about the different levels as a sign that's still there. And it was incredible. Well, if there wasn't so much snow, there's some really cool routes to ride around here, you know? There's like, if you were to continue on our main road 6 miles that way is Death Valley National Park. Yeah. And then you can take that through everywhere.
These buildings over here?
Yeah, there's little cabins. And so you have to figure like originally there was so many people living here that any of these old roads that you see would have been lined with cabins and tents and houses. The hotel, and so like we finally finished the basement, which was really big. And so now we're framing. And so there'll be dirt around all of that. Yeah. We luckily have an old military truck, 5-ton, and so we bring everything up with that. I don't know if you guys watch Heavy D's videos ever. Or...
Oh, Heavy D Sparks. Yeah. Yes.
So he's helped out.
Oh, cool.
Pour a lot of the concrete with this and stuff. And so that was cool. And he's the one that gave us the old 5-ton military truck.
We gotta leave Cerro Gordo. We're trying to leave before the sun sets, so we're not here in the cold and the snow and starting to turn to ice. So wish us luck.
Sometimes I feel like wind only exists to remind us that things can always get worse.
It was so cold. Our cameras did not survive the ride down. But thank God we did. I never.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming.
I'm so sorry for that inconvenience.
No, it's not inconvenient at all.
Beautiful pavement. It's never looked more beautiful.
You did it!
Oh God. Oh, oh God.
We had fun. Did we?
That playground can become a prison. But when those days are past, they definitely make you appreciate the things we take for granted.
We are standing at the entrance of a ballistic missile bunker. At the time of commission, missile bases were considered ultra secret and their mission was top priority. Today, many missile sites are privately owned and extremely dangerous. So, we're gonna spend the night here. No, seriously.
Oh, this is quite freaky.
Yeah.
So, what is this and how did I find one to spend the night in? During the Cold War, the threat of nuclear warfare from the Soviet Union was a serious concern. So, in the 1960s, the US built secret bunkers all around the country as a place of defense and potential escape if the US had become a nuclear wasteland.
Military rockets operate on exactly the same principle as the 4th of July variety. The pressure inside, being equal in all directions, forces the gas out of the chamber at an extremely high velocity.
After the fourth accidental explosion in 2 years, the bunkers were decommissioned and abandoned. Many laid to waste to nature, vandalism, and some were purchased by civilians. In 1999, a distinguished missile speaker, Gary Baker, purchased 2 of these in the middle of the desert for $110,000. He, with help from family and friends, spent 4 years and $400,000 renovating one of them. Gary and his wife lived right about here, the former control room. They put the former cook's quarters and kitchen area on Airbnb, and that's where we'll spend the night in, 40 feet underground.
All right, we're locked in here for the next 24 hours. Not really, we can go out anytime we want.
Okay, now we're going to head into our apartment. When I say our and we, I mean you and me. That is where we're staying tonight. Might as well check it out before we go to where the missile would be placed. This is our apartment for the night. We've got a bathroom. This is where I'll be staying. The kitchen. This is where the original kitchen was. Thank goodness, because I was thinking, uh-oh, where do maybe I should have brought food. But they leave all this for the guests. All right, let's head over to where the missile would go. So all the pipes and the stairs you see here are original. So this door had to be able to withstand a blast, just in case there was an accident with the missile. Yeah! To the missile. Here it is. This is where the missile would go. I almost fell. Don't mind my shoes. My feet were sweaty in my boots. And there are the doors. Here's a view of what it looks like from the top. This is the top of the silo doors. Each one weighing 75 tons. So this is where the missile would go. And those springs you see right there is part of the elevator system that would hold the missile on cables. So it would never be touching anything. Just in case there was some type of nuclear attack or explosions up top, you don't want a nuclear missile to be banging around on anything. So down from the floor up to the doors is 186 feet. And in there is part of the ventilation system. Now it's where some bats live. There are the doors to what was once the maintenance shaft. It's kind of sad to see the state it's in now with all this vandalism. And we can't go much further. As you can see, things are kind of falling apart here. So there's Wi-Fi in here, my phone works. They even got Netflix. But here's what I really want to watch. If you're spending the night in a missile bunker, you gotta watch a documentary about atomic bombs. Narrated by William Shatner. What?
Way back in the 20th century, the H-bomb was the ultimate weapon.
We are currently 40 feet underground, and I am quite hungry, so I'm going to eat some food and take a shower, and then watch my atomic bomb documentary in a missile bunker. What?
So it's actually a little chilly in here. For me. There's no heat or AC, but it stays anywhere from 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit year round. Even when it's
110 in the desert up above, still nice and cool down here.
I don't want to get up. I want to stay in this cozy, dark bed. It smells kind of funny 40 feet underground in a steel container.
All right, let's go. We are in front of the second bunker and there are no lights inside. It's not renovated like the other one, so we've got a headlamp. Raul's gonna take me down on a tour. Ooh, these doors are open.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a long way down. Is it as deep as the other one? 186 feet?
It's the same, yeah.
The same. So we're going inside there?
Yeah, but let me show you the other side. You see the
You never know. If I came upon this on the desert, I'd never know. I'm ready.
Look at the signal.
Do not enter ISIS and... Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
There are
The door, the 5-ton door that's gold.
Yeah. Glass doors.
Whoa. I'm gonna stay on the edge here.
This level is the same level that your apartment, your apartment.
Oh yeah.
But it's original in original condition.
Wow.
All these pipes is for this pipe is for the bathroom, and the other pipe is for the kitchen.
Oh wow. Do you recognize it? How it looks just like where we were, but this is the original with some local touches. Did Gary do that?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Wait, Gary's a vandalizer too?
Yeah.
Look at that, Lori and Jeremy. Are you all still together? If you're watching this video, comment below.
Yeah.
Oh, this is quite freaky.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna keep going. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm fine with that. I'm gonna stay over here on the edge. Okay. I think I'll wait for you right here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. You're not scared of falling through? Oh my gosh! Oh, okay. You know what? I'm coming. I want to see that. I will look at it. Is that his nest over there?
Yeah, it's the nest.
Wow. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Good thing I'm not scared of heights.
Lived experience.
Okay.
It's
okay.
You are in a motorcycle.
Hey.
It's more dangerous.
Oh no, the motorcycle is way safer than this. Are you kidding? Easy peasy. Okay. We're here.
Fragments from bursting shells can do severe damage to personnel and to light structures.
Okay. On the other one, the equivalent of what we can walk in is right here only.
Right here only. Only right here.
But here we can walk. We walked all around and we went down the stairs.
You don't see all these. It's amazing. All.
It's a lot more still intact in this one. It's crazy how some things you just leave them alone and they just slowly start to fall apart. Back into the light.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raul.
It's my pleasure.
I'm in the Silo Club. We didn't go all the way. I got a little scared. Okay. But we went close.
That's good.
And I saw what you mean by you used to play down there.
Absolutely.
Mr. Gary.
Yeah.
Gary 1982.
Yeah.
Gary was a missile delinquent.
Yeah.
And now he's a missile owner.
Yeah, there you go.
You can spend the night in this missile bunker too. It's on Airbnb. Thank you so much, Gary and Raul. Thank you. 16 gunfights and 26 deaths. Stabbed, murdered, shot, killed by Indians. I am here in Tombstone, Arizona. This has been nicknamed the town Too Tough to Die. It was burnt twice, and the death toll here was so high that they had triple the undertakers the town would usually need. If you didn't die here from mining accidents, Apache native attacks, you probably just got shot by someone that was upset with you for some reason. This is the town of one of the first organized crime groups. They called themselves the Cowboys, and they would wear a red sash. And probably their most famous shootout happened near the OK Corral, where they shot the people who were trying to make rules where you had to check your weapons at the door of the bar. And they didn't like that. I didn't know this until I got here, but this is actually considered one of the most haunted towns in the US. History Channel, ghost hunters, all sorts of shows have come here for weird paranormal activity. So once I learned that when I got here, I decided I should look up the most haunted hotels here and spend the night. But first, let's go see some of the creepiest places here. Some of the places where there have been reported the most killings. Right behind me is the Birdcage Theater. It is the oldest building in Tombstone. 16 gunfights and 26 deaths. So it's considered one of the most haunted buildings in Tombstone. So let's go inside. So the tour guide just said that this is a very active building, as in lots of ghosts. So okay, yeah, nothing to worry about. 16 gunfights, 26 people have died in here. So there are bullet holes everywhere. I've never had any ghost experiences. My sister says because I'm a new soul. So maybe I'll be okay. This is right inside the theater. All those bullet holes. So this is where people would sit. And that is the stage over there. It's a self-guided tour. I'm all by myself in a supposedly most haunted place in Tombstone. Apparently right here is the longest running poker game. It lasted about 8 years and it cost $1,000 just to get in, and it had a waiting list. $1,000, that is $30,000 in today's standards.
You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
So I googled the most haunted hotels in Tombstone, and I booked a night in one of them. So I'm here at the Tombstone Motel. This looks like a very old motel, and like their stuff is very old too. I guess this is the man that's gonna be watching me tonight. Keep an eye out for me tonight, will ya? Make sure no orbs try to throw something on my head or something. I just got out of the shower and the door was open, and now the whole room is foggy. I mean, you know what I mean. What? It's like there's literally mist in the bedroom. Not ghostly, just I just noticed it and thought I'd point it out. It's 1:30. I can't fall asleep because I had to pee so bad, but I didn't want to get up in the darkness.
So finally I just turned on the light.
Well, that was the worst night's sleep I've had in a very long time. No ghost experience, just constantly freaking out that I was about to have one. Today we're gonna check out some of the remaining creepy places here in Tombstone. Some of the places that are famous have had a lot of killings, and people report a lot of weird stuff. So we're gonna check it out today. I am standing in front of the Bordello Inn, an inn that is reported to be one of the most haunted buildings here. It actually used to be a brothel, and supposedly a minor died in a brawl just behind the house, and he's said to haunt this place. I tried to stay here, but since I didn't decide I was gonna spend the night in this town until pretty last minute, they were already booked. But seeing as how bad of a night's sleep I got last night in a hotel that's not considered as haunted as this one, but still haunted, that's probably better. Hill Graveyard. It was originally called Tombstone Cemetery, but because of the so many violent deaths that brought people to be buried here, they changed it to Boot Hill Cemetery because so many of people died violent deaths with their boots still on instead of peacefully in their sleep. And I'm reading the list of the people who are buried here and how they died. Stabbed, murdered, shot, killed by Indians, struck on the back of his head, ambushed on a cattle drive, saloon brawl, shot. Let me tell you, I am glad I was born in a different time than this. That's for sure. Cowboy Bill King, shot by Burt Alvord, or Alvaro. So Cowboy was actually the name of the outlaw group here in town. They're the ones that wore red sashes, and they're one of the first organized crime groups in the USA. These are the
right over here.
OK Corral gunfight victims. Shout out to the YouTube channel Tolleson Life, because I wouldn't have known about this town had it not been for their really cool video on Tombstone. So thank you guys. And if you're a millennial like me and you don't normally carry cash, you might be a little screwed. A lot of places here in Tombstone are cash only. And if you do any tours or anything, watch any shows, the actors, the tour guides take tips. So make sure you got some cash on you. So supposedly a lot of outlaws were buried here between 1878 and 1884. And locals say that the gift shop has some weird things happen there. That sometimes merchandise will just be moved, or seems like it's fallen over, or just be missing when no one else is there. So I was asking them inside, how is it legal? I mean, isn't it illegal to murder even back then? Like, why were there so many killings? And they were saying that whenever a mine is discovered, thousands of people just flock to an area and there's no infrastructure. So it's pretty much every man for himself. And then they build the infrastructure as people are already there. And eventually they hired Wyatt Earp to help bring order to the town, but he ended up becoming an outlaw. People say causing almost as much problems as the outlaws, getting in gunfights with the outlaws just outside of OK Corral where we're going next. And eventually he ended up becoming an outlaw himself. I don't know, this sounds like this town was cursed at one point. In the middle of the Nevada desert, nestled among Joshua trees, is the most secretive government base in the country. All along the perimeter are warning signs saying that just stepping over the border is enough to send you to prison. And if you think no one is watching, you're wrong. At one gate is a white truck on top of a hill stationed at all times with a sniper inside, authorized to shoot you on sight if you cross that border. At this gate, there are cameras all along and they follow us as we walk. There are monitoring devices. They can hear everything we're saying. They have monitoring systems in the desert, so they know that you are coming from miles away, and they even know how much you weigh long before you get to the perimeter. The roads to get here are 15 plus miles of dirt with no cell service and no highway patrol. And I came here yesterday on a tour. I put a pin on Google Maps and it didn't save, it didn't hold. It doesn't work anymore. Like I said, this base is incredibly secretive. But first, let me show you how we got here. Because of the freaky things I just explained, I won't be going alone. I'll be joined by another YouTuber, Try It with Tim. Now we are at the start of the extraterrestrial highway where it all begins. We're already hearing crazy stuff, hearing fighter jets or whatever they are, and we can't tell what they are. It's pretty cool. The closer we got to Area 51, the more weird things started happening. For instance, my GoPro footage. All of the footage kept freezing.
Look at that! You put your kickstand right on a rock. Smart. I did not.
Now we're in front of the famous black mailbox, one of the turning points into Area 51, because you can't exactly put Area 51 on Google Maps, and even if you make a pin when you're at the gate to save for later, it doesn't work anymore. I've tried.
Do you think I should write to the aliens? I'm thinking like, I want to believe.
I think it's between you and the aliens. I already wrote my letter. I put it in yesterday when I was on the tour. The black mailbox, just a big random mailbox in the middle of the desert. Nobody knows the origins. Nobody knows how it got here. So that's why people believe that it's the mailbox for the aliens. The original one was actually stolen about 20 feet away, or a little more than that. So this is a replacement. Oh, and look, it's actually chained down. I'm not sure quite how that works, but I'll show you the remnants of the original. Someone brought a torch and stole it. Rude. Someone has the mailbox just as decor in their living room. The original mailbox. Right there.
Hey dude, are you hungry?
No?
Got some kidney beans if you are, and
that's for the alien.
A lollipop.
Put that back, that's not yours. That's for the Asgard.
Got my note.
That's for E.T. I think my note's still in there. I think I see it. I'm just gonna leave it.
Yes, there it is. Going in. Come check it out. Might be the winning lotto numbers. Boom. Ready to roll?
All right, let's get an alien burger because in case we get detained and we can't eat for like 18 hours. I have no idea what the hell that is. So we just got some food at the little alien cafe, you know, just in case we get abducted and don't have food for the next 18 hours. This may be our last meal before we go to another universe. And something really freaky happened when we got here. So we were looking at this dust cloud that, by the way, wasn't moving in this wind. And then there was a plane. I swear I recorded that plane. I swear I did. And it's just gone. It's not on my phone anymore. And I heard someone say on a tour that happened to someone else. They took a picture of a plane they saw out here because it was weird and cool looking. And when they got back to Las Vegas, out of all their pictures they had from the day, that one picture was missing. And I swear that's what just happened to me. Tim, I don't think Tim believes me.
I believe you.
You do?
I feel like I saw you hit record. And then I'm surprised, yeah.
Okay, you see?
We'll know for sure. Once I check my GoPro footage is gone, then there's something crazy going on.
I swear I had my kickstand down. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, let me just get that kickstand down. All right. Clear. We're here. We are here. Front gate, Area 51. I am glad to see that we're not the only people that visit Area 51.
Hello again.
Hello. There's what?
There's treacle.
What's that?
That's a bush that'll hop up with an AR-15 and say, "What the f*** are you doing?"
Are you serious?
Hands up.
Put your f***ing hands up. I'm not going to tell you again. Turn around.
They don't hide it. There's tripods up there with cameras right there in listening places. I mean, they make it known. You're getting close.
So I've never really given aliens a second thought, honestly, outside of Star Trek until I came here, and now I'm like, it's real. And I was talking with Tim earlier today. Tim, have you ever thought about aliens, or have you ever seen a UFO, or has this ever been on your radar before?
Yeah, well, I've always been fascinated with, aliens and extraterrestrial life. And I'd say recently, I feel like I have seen some unidentified flying objects. I was teaching my dad how to fly a drone, and then we put it up, and then as it was up there, we looked over and we saw probably a dozen or so little objects. I thought they were metallic balloons at first because they had a shimmer, and then they're just kind of glistening. But then I saw that they started to make these formations, and yeah, so they made a triangle formation. They were flying in unison, and then they kind of just disappeared. I'll never forget it.
Trip. That sounds cool. So even from the gate, I can't see a single building, just more desert and mountains. So this could all be a ruse for the real location. I would have considered myself fairly neutral when it comes to patriotism compared to others until I came here. The fact that we're allowed to come here at all, even if it's just the gate, and that Bob Lazar is still alive and he was just on a podcast on Joe Rogan several years ago, that's pretty amazing. I'm just really glad to live in a country that won't kill people for speaking up and allow a couple of YouTubers to come to this gate even. I mean, maybe there's nothing here, I don't know, but I mean, the fact that we're allowed to be here is pretty cool. I mean, to an extent. I'm going to spend the next 24 hours at the world's biggest gas station. There are 120 gas pumps, 1,000 parking spots, 83 toilets, and 80 fountain dispensers. I am on my way back home on my cross-country trip, and I just had to check out the Disney World of gas stations. Actually, on their website, they don't call it gas station, they call them travel centers.
It's our family's first time at Busey's.
You could bring the biggest group ride here. I mean, look at all those pumps. 24 hours is a long time, so I have a list of things I want to do. Get gas, do some basic checkup on my bike, use their award-winning bathrooms. There's someone in here cleaning 24/7, and eat all my meals here. On this trip, I've already spent 24 hours in the town Too Tough to Die, an underground missile bunker, and survived the road to an abandoned ghost town. So today, it's not about freaking ourselves out. It's about treating ourselves.
Treat yourself.
Well, I already see a problem with this 24-hour challenge. There isn't anywhere to sit. No tables or chairs inside. no benches outside. I'm sure that was intentional. They don't want us sticking around. They want you to get in and get out. I was kind of hoping I could just do some work on my laptop, but, well, it's nice to sit outside on the floor. No, I'm serious. World famous brisket right here. 7 out of 10. Excuse me. 3 weeks paid time off. First year. That's way more than I've ever gotten at an office job. Good thing I quit to be a YouTuber. So I didn't call Buc-ee's the Disney World of gas station just because they have a cute little rodent on everything. Apparently, they like to sue a lot. There was one company that they started a lawsuit because their logo also was a beaver in a yellow circle. There was another company that was an alligator in a cowboy hat in a yellow circle, which I feel like that was a stretch, but they won the case. And then there was this other convenience store in Nebraska called Buc-ee's. So spelled a little differently, no squirrel.
It's a beaver.
So they just agreed to not expand where the other already existed. There was another convenience store in Texas called Chick's, but they had a lawsuit filed because they just had a similar layout and the idea of like just being mega. There was another lawsuit filed against an employee for breaching a retention agreement, which is kind of a way to keep someone from quitting. I don't know all the details, but I do know that they didn't win that case. It's kind of awkward. They're just different, I guess. They're a private company, no investors, no board of directors, still owned by the 2 people who started it. So they can pretty much make it as they see fit. There are some cool things though, like any entry-level positions, they get paid pretty well, and they actually have benefits, like starting off, which is very unique. It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. This place is hopping. I'm trying to go to different registers because I'm starting to get embarrassed of the employees noticing I'm staying here so long. But I'm starting to get recognized. No one seems to think it's weird though. What people do seem to think is weird are my pants. I've had at least 2 people ask me if I'm going skiing. I guess people don't recognize ADV pants. It's time for dinner. 7 o'clock now. It's a hot dog wrapped in a tortilla. Sausage. That's good. I like that way better than the brisket sandwich. As of this year, this is not going to be the biggest Buc-ee's. They're building an even bigger one, like 30 or 40 minutes east of here. So on my way home, tomorrow, I'm gonna stop there, eat breakfast, which they start serving at 4 in the morning. I'm not gonna be there that early. Really did not expect to find fruit at Buc-ee's. I really didn't. I'm so happy right now.
Apparently, you can't stay overnight at Buc-ee's, so don't bring your camper or RV here. And 18-wheelers aren't allowed either. And don't try to get away with it, there's a cop that patrols the parking lot. But there's a hotel literally across the street, and I'm gonna see if I can get a room facing the Buc-ee's.
All right, the sun has set. I think we should call it a night, and we'll be back here in the morning for breakfast and to check out the other Buc-ee's that is going to be even bigger than this one, being built right now, ready to come out this year. This video is not sponsored by Buc-ee's at all. What is my life now? And Mom, if you're watching this, I know I just got off the phone with you right now and told you I don't ride at night, but my hotel is literally right across the street.
What I didn't know was that a storm was coming, and that storm was coming from a tornado. that I would have to dodge on my way back home on this cross-country trip, which you'll see in another video.
That storm that was supposed to happen yesterday happened last night. It was so loud, it kept me up all night. I woke up 2 hours after my alarm. I really wanted to make breakfast here, and luckily it still goes until 11 o'clock. It's 10:40 in the morning. I haven't woken up this late since who knows how long. So I think we'll still be able to get breakfast. Thursday at 10:40 and this place is packed. I got breakfast! I couldn't finish that. Nellie's to the rescue. It's here! We found it! Coming soon, world's largest. It's gonna be built right here in Luling, Texas. Texas, you already have the biggest Buc-ee's. Why do you want to make an even bigger one? Why does everything gotta be big in Texas? It's already 12 o'clock, so even though I only ate breakfast like less than an hour ago, might as well get lunch since I'm here. Use the bathroom, continue on the trek on home. Since there's nowhere really to sit, and sitting outside on the ground like yesterday, right now, doesn't seem like much of an option either, so I'll just eat in here. Among the merch. This is the Club Melt. Let's see how it is. Uh-oh, I hope it's not spicy. I see red flakes. .5. It's spicy. I need water. I took a break. Ate half a banana. Gonna try again. I just don't understand how it's always so full. It's crazy. Although there are a lot of cars at the gas pumps with nobody in it. Woo! All right, that's enough time at a gas station. Let's head home. Woo, some cold fingers. This is a real life hobbit hole. I'm serious, it's underground in the middle of the woods. There's also farm animals, trails, a pond, and wide open space that I'm going to enjoy while I'm here.
I'm going on an adventure!
If you're wondering how I found a real hobbit hole in the US when the real Shire is definitely in New Zealand, I'll explain. On my way home on my cross-country trip, I had been looking for unique Airbnbs along the way and found this just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. There were trails, a barn, a fire pit, and the chance to spend the night inside of a green grass hill, just like a hobbit hole.
And I'm gonna spend the night in here, right now.
Before I show you what a hobbit hole looks like from the inside, we'll take a walk along this Tennessee Shire.
So today we are here. We can only walk on the black dash line. We're gonna walk around this way, see the honeymoon cabin, go up and see the play fort, go down to the barn and the pond, and then go back around. I see red roofs. That must be the host houses. And here, oh, this must be the honeymoon cabin. So J.R.R. Tolkien had kind of a sad life. Well, maybe he didn't think so, but both his parents died. His dad when he was really young, and then his mom raised him and his brother as a single mom for a while until she died too. Oh wait, I'm about to walk into a driveway, hold on. Okay, I'm back on the right path. so this wouldn't be terrible on dirt bikes, but it's been kind of squirrely on some spots, so I'm glad I'm not on my street bike for this part. So Tolkien and his brother were basically raised by the Catholic priest. I don't know what that situation looks like, but apparently it's portrayed in a movie or TV show, and Chief O'Brien plays the priest. So I think that's pretty cool. He met his wife really young, so young that his priest forbade him from seeing her because she wasn't Catholic. So when he turned 21, he proposed to her and she converted to Catholicism. Apparently she was his muse for the elven women. So there's this love story about Luthien and Beren. Luthien, this beautiful dark-haired elven woman, and Beren, this mere mortal. And apparently J.R.R. Tolkien, that's how he saw his wife, was this mystical, fantastical woman. Apparently she would dance and sing for him in the woods, and that's where he got that idea. I'd like to see what that looks like because I've never danced or sung for Cody. Not in a way that would inspire anybody to create an elfish story about me anyways. But when she ended up passing away, he had Luthien engraved on her headstone. I keep walking into webs. When he passed away, 2 years later, he had Beren on his headstone. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right. If you can't tell, I'm not a true Lord of the Rings fan. I'm doing this for you guys. I thought you all would really like this. I'm more of a Star Trek lady. I know I'm offending a lot of people here.
I cannot.
Made it to the barn. Hi. Oh my, you are very regal looking.
I haven't been around many horses, and I wasn't sure if I was allowed to pet them, but I really wanted to. So I decided I would need to come back to the barn before I left, when the host was there, so I could find out who I could and couldn't pet.
So there's some sections where it's really compact and somewhere it's much more gnarly. I probably might have been fine on my bike, 75% chance. At least I know I can pick it up now that I'm like 2/3 of my way through 100 bike lifts a day challenge. So I'm not actually on my cross-country trip right now, even though I'm putting this video in the 12 cross-country video series. This and the world's largest museum, those were two places that were pretty close to home. I was already 2 weeks delayed on my trip and so tired, and I thought, you know what, let me just go home, and once I've been home for a while, like a month or two, then I'll come out and do these last two videos I wanted to do. So I went to Barber after I've been already home for a month, and I'm here, but I've already been home for 2 months. So if you're wondering why some of the things on my bike, like my pants and my helmet look different, that's why, because I went home and grabbed them. Man, these people are living right. They've got a barn, all these little cabins, hiking trails, riding trails, a 4x4. I want something like this. I want something like this real bad. All right, I know this entrance. And then that way to the Hobbit hole. Okay, now that I've walked this a little bit more, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring back my bike on some of these lighter dirt trails, and I'm gonna head back to the barn. Looks like I can turn around pretty easily. See that little loop right there? That was a pretty easy turnaround. So I'll head back to the barn before I leave on my bike for just a little bit of off-roading. And then we'll head back home.
That's our door.
I've been in here almost 5 hours. I turned off the AC a long time ago because it was freezing when I came in here. And it is still really chilly inside, which is crazy because outside it's about 90 degrees. But it stays very cool, partially underground.
Before I take you on a tour inside the Hobbit hole, I just had one very important thing to do.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
Okay, I changed my mind. We've got 2 hours to check out, and it's a little cooler and a little less buggy this morning than last night. So I want to try to make some s'mores. I've never started a fire myself, so we'll see how this goes. But I did watch a YouTube video and I brought a lighter. I'm basically a pro, right? That's pretty nice. They have firewood for you here. Wonder how much roasting I'll get in the comments section for this. My fire attempt. Just as good. Smells like marshmallows in here. There's actually an excessive heat watch going on outside. So that sounds like a pretty good time to do a tour inside where it's nice and cool. So here's the whole Hobbit hole. It's basically like a studio apartment, 300 something square foot. That's a queen size bed. This is not Hobbit sized. I guess the door is pretty short. Like I'm 3.75 inches tall and it's right here on me. But here's a picture of the owner who is 6'2" in here. It's pretty spacious in here, even though it is a Hobbit hole. Hobbit sized fridge. Got the plates and cups. I just made a quiche Lorraine that I bought at Kroger. There's no Wi-Fi in here and no TV. There are books though. Books and games. Ooh, coloring pencils. Jenga. Lord of the Rings. A Middle-earth adventure game. The genius behind Middle-earth. Special edition. Worlds of Tolkien, a coloring book. Oh, that's what the color pencils are for. Let's see if anyone's colored in it. Ooh. Nice job, Jacqueline. I don't think that was in Lord of the Rings. This is the only Lord of the Rings book that I could read through. Of course, the one written for a child. Maps of Tolkien's Middle-earth. I hung my gear up, Febrezed them. It's so hot outside, I don't want to go back out there. That bug, I found it. I just let in the most ginormous fly. It sounds like a spaceship. Can you just, if you just sit still, it's freaking out. I'll show you to the bathroom. This is the bathroom. Look at that nice rocky shower. Look at that sink. It's so cute. I love that mirror. I guess this is the water heater. I don't know. They said if I ran out of water, I had to call them, which I'm like, I can't call you though. So I already took a shower and luckily I didn't run out of hot water. I cannot escape those bugs. I try to open that door so quickly and they keep coming in and they keep surrounding me. Oh, that was just my shirt. Bad. There we go. That'll make it much easier later. Okay, to the horsies. Off-road mode. Traction control disabled. Let's go. Okay, I think there's a downhill here, which worries me a little bit, but we're gonna be okay. Okay, that's totally fine. This is not so bad. It's all in your head. Am I talking to you or me? I'm not sure. You know if I'm allowed to pet horses? Do you know if I'm allowed to pet you?
All right then, keep your secrets.
Hi. Are you Katie?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Am I allowed to pet the horses?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just don't go in there with them.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
I had so much fun. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful here.
Oh, thank you
This is
very
amazing.
much. Yeah. So this one is Mame.
Okay.
She's a sweetheart.
Hi, Mame. Can I pet you? Should I let her like sniff me first?
Yeah,
or
you
something?
just kind of let her get a
Like ask for
smell.
permission?
Yeah, and then yeah, go ahead.
Just on the nose?
Yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere? Hi.
I think she's 23 hands, and that's the measurement of a horse. I don't know why.
Oh.
But she's a big one. But then like
Oh my
Cookie over
gosh.
here, she's the youngest.
Oh my gosh.
And the smallest.
Hi, Cookie.
And the smartest.
This is Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Maggie is our old girl.
She says no.
This is Chief.
Hi, Chief. What's in your mouth? You got something in your mouth. Saving it for later? I'm like overextended. Was that good? Whoa.
Path of destruction across the Midwest today.
Severe weather outbreak all across the central and southern states.
This fence is halfway in the water.
If you're in this path, make sure to get to your safe place now.
We are making our way back home. By we, I mean you, me, and this giant zit on my head. We only have about 1,000 miles left now. Should take just a few days. There is currently a tornado in Missouri. So I've moved my route south to try and get a little further from it. But it looks like I'll still get the storms from it. And it's already started last night. Kept me up all night, the thunder. It may be moving further south, so I hope it doesn't go closer to me because I really don't have anywhere else to go except the ocean. Oopsie. It's not the first time I've ridden in the rain. I'm sure it won't be the last. Wish me luck. All right, back into the rain.
Having by yourself?
Just right now. I've been meeting friends along the way. Okay, so that little dot is where I am. And that's the rain. So it looks like by moving my route, it was originally gonna go right through that, and I just shifted it down. It looks like I might be able to keep on dodging it. Never mind. So if you're wondering why I'm riding through a downpour and trying to dodge a tornado instead of just sitting at home like a good little girl, I'll explain. 5 weeks ago, I set on my first cross-country trip. From east to west, I crossed the country in 7 days to make it to a specialized training with famous GS Trophy rider Jocelyn Snow. I am now on my way back home to Atlanta, taking about a month to get there as I stopped at a bunch of unique locations, such as the town with no laws, an abandoned ghost mining town.
So if you're ever walking through the desert and you see like a tobacco tin nailed to a piece of wood, it might have like a really old piece of paper inside of it that shows like whose mine that was back in the day.
And just about anything that piqued my interest. I'll link to the 12 video series in a playlist below. On the way there, the problems were dust storms, winds so powerful they knocked down semis, and blizzards for the first time in California in decades. And now, passing back through, the center of US is like a wall of obstacles, like a test to make sure you're worthy of the finish line. It tested me with dust storms on the way there, and this time, it was testing me with tornadoes. There's actually a scientific reason why this happens in the center of US, and something for you to know if you ever find yourself crossing the country.
Tornado Alley exists at the confluence of 3 geographic weather systems. Coming in from the north is a front of cold, dry air from Canada. From the southwest is a gust of hot, dry air from the Mojave Desert. And from the southeast is a heavy dose of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico. As these 3 combine, they create the exact circumstances that a tornado needs. No other region in the world has all 3 required ingredients to make a tornado as prominently as the United States.
And now, where were we? Oh yes, right about here. I don't normally pull over just for rain, but I could not see. Like, I literally couldn't see the lights of the cars in front of me. And I don't know if it's just the rain or my visor fogging up, because this is a dual sport helmet. It doesn't have a pin lock, it can't fit the pin lock. So it fogs up in the rain. I took off the visor because I was going to be doing highway riding, but I definitely don't recommend this XD4 that Itchy Boots uses if you do a lot of highway riding. I should have brought my Corsair X. Both my gloves have water inside.
If you're in this path, make sure to get to your safe place now.
It looks like I'm just riding through scattered bits, but it looks like what I'm riding through, insanely enough, is actually like the least of it. So I think I'll keep going, but I don't think I'll get very far. I was hoping to get to Barber Motorsports. That is the biggest motorcycle museum in the world. And I wanted to make a video there. They're closed on Sundays, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna make it there on Saturday now. I'll just keep going and go back and forth between pulling over if it's really bad and then going again. But okay, this is probably as clear as it's gonna get for a while, so let's go. Oh no. I was using this as a pocket for my fudge, and it's full of water in there. Ew, that's the brownie. No, R.I.P. brownie. Literally my route. Bike is all packed up. We've got a nice window of no rain and just overcast right now, so good time to start heading out. All my gear I was wearing yesterday is still a little bit damp. One of the things, many things I ran out of on this trip is coins, and the washer and dryer here are only operated by coins. So I couldn't dry my stuff, and just leaving it on the AC didn't dry it enough, but it's not soaking wet, it's just a little damp. So hopefully tonight or today I'll have better luck. Doesn't look like it. We're only like 740 miles from home, so I'm ready to get back to my bed, to my dog, to my Cody, to my food. And it kept fogging up yesterday, even when I left it cracked open. But some people recommended toothpaste, so I tried that today, so we'll see if that works. So I'm riding down this road and I'm looking around, seeing all this water like right up on the road's edge, thinking, wow, it's like really swampy around here. And then I see some houses that look like they're surrounded by water. I'm like, huh. And then I'm thinking, I don't think this is intentional. I think this is from flooding. This fence is halfway in the water.
Church will be open for Easter services.
Well, I stopped again. It's getting really hard to see. So I'm really close to home. I'm only like Not even 3 hours away. I am just under 100 miles from home, and I went to a hotel. Water had just gotten through my rain suit. My layers of clothes underneath the rain jacket were wet. I've pulled over at a rest stop, tried to change some of my tops, but one of the sweaters was still damp. I was just trying to get warm, and after I waited there for 40 minutes, my feet were still cold. Traffic was getting worse. It was supposed to take an hour and a half to get home. It was saying 2 hours, and then finally when it was saying 2.5 hours, and it was still so cold and I was wet, that's when I just decided to find a hotel. So I'm gonna leave home to get home in the morning. So I figured out why my feet couldn't get warm even after waiting at the Georgia Center for 40 minutes yesterday. My boots are a little damp, and they still are this morning. So I got some plastic baggies. If I had my freeze out socks, that'd probably be enough, but I left those at home. But I'm almost home. I'm less than 100 miles away. Today it's all green. Instead of 2.5 hours, GPS is saying an hour and 20 minutes. The tornado up north is pretty much dead, but there were still a lot of storms. And not to mention the cold front in Georgia. Spring has sprung and come and went. And yesterday it was a cold front, but today it's a little bit warmer. When I finally got home, the skies cleared up as if to say, "You passed." I can't believe I actually did it. Crossed America there and back. It may have taken me longer than I planned, and I may have encountered many more issues than I expected, but I did it. It made me think about all the people saying, "This bike is too big for me, I shouldn't be riding it," and how the majority of people just give up. They stay in that job they hate, they stay in that marriage they're barely tolerating, and live depressed and angry and think it's normal. How many businesses haven't been built because someone thought their goal was only for the lucky ones? How many soulmates will never meet because someone stayed in that miserable relationship instead? If I can ride across the country, make a job riding motorcycles, and marry my dream guy, so can you. 6 weeks and almost 10,000 miles later, I'm gonna show you all the things that I used on this road trip that really helped me out and how it held up across all these miles and storms. Some of these are sponsored affiliates or none of the above. And pretty much a couple days after I left on my trip, I emailed 11 of these brands that I had all the stuff for already and asked them if they wanted to sponsor this trip. So shout out to my sponsors because this trip literally wouldn't have been possible for me to do. All right, I'll show you everything now. So I got the Lone Rider bags. Had one there, because the owner of my Triumph shop actually had them too, and he goes on a cross-country trip every year, and he swears by them. I wanted soft over hard bags because of all the conveniences that people say for hard bags. The one thing that made it a bad idea for me was that you can break your leg, so I went soft for that reason. My crash protection from SW Motec took so many spills. Handguards worked great. After a ton of drops, if you can see here, there's a little bit more room here than there is now here. But this is after like half a dozen drops, so I'm impressed. I think the only thing was that my rear brake lever bent after like drop number 12. And it was a very specific drop. It was a drop you'll see in my 100 bike lifts challenge coming up soon. The seat I had before this was a faux sheepskin, And after about 3,000 miles, it flattened out. They said I could fluff it up again, but I never got it to fluff up again. So this really worked great. Dual sport helmet wasn't ideal for as much highway riding as I was doing. So I really recommend just the street helmet, because this right here would give me a headache. And sure, I could take it off, but then this visor with the nose bridge doesn't fit a pin lock. So I would have some fogging issues at some point. But I'm definitely keeping this helmet because I am doing some dirt riding now. My Cardo, I've used it over so many road trips, thousands and thousands of miles. I've had this for years and it's been great. I can hear my music and my directions just fine. I do wish it was just a little bit louder because I like to wear earplugs, and that's what makes it a little too quiet on the highway. My brake-free light. So I'm actually home now. I've been home for 4 months, but this edition just came out this week. It used to be only black color, and now you can get it in white, and you can remove it. It just lights up when you're stopping or slowing down, wire-free. My Hightail, it's the only thing I've been able to find across literally tens of thousands of miles of road trips that keeps my hair from knotting up. You put your hair in like this little pouch right here. Dash cam front and back, it just turns on as soon as the bike turns on. I didn't set it up. I had my dealership set it up when I sent them all these other road trip accessories, but it has a phone app which makes it great and easy to use. This you'll see about in my road trip to Sturgis video, so hang on tight to hear what this is about. That last shot you saw of me coming home, I actually recreated that. That wasn't from my trip. I recreated that today. That's how I do it. It's see, it's a selfie stick. I've used my 360 across so many miles. It's pretty expensive, so I don't like to use it on the highway because I don't want it to fall off. Editing it can take up a lot of time, so I usually try to just get short clips with that. Quad lock phone mount. I didn't use as much because I was on the highway and there was literally no directions that I needed for hours on end. It was especially good to have my phone right here when I was in small towns. There were a lot of turns, so I could look at where I had to go to. And just make sure you get Quad Lock's vibration dampener. They're one of few companies that make this, and that'll prevent your camera lens from getting ruined with the vibration of your handlebars, which has happened to me, and I had to replace the whole phone. For my gear, I had the Revit Sans H2O jacket and pants. It has a waterproof layer and a winter layer and a bunch of vents, so I could pretty much use it all seasons. It's okay on the West Coast, but above 80 degrees, it gets warm in high humidity. If you want to see more about the breakdown of the costs of this trip, you can see that on my website. I have a blog post all about that. 6 weeks on the road was a little too long for me. I will see you in the next one.